Right, hi, Graham Healy again from Trade Canary, Australia, New Zealand. In this educational video, we'll show you how to place a trade on Interactive Brokers, which is the interface site that interfaces on the New York stock market. So just enjoy the process. This is part of our educational video series. Graham Healy over and out. Enjoy the video. Good evening, it's Graham Healy, and tonight's video is basically entitled How Do You Place a Trade on Interactive Brokers? Now, I'm going to go through, recently I've placed several trades on FedEx, and I'll go through the logic and the reasoning for that, and then I'll show you how to actually do it on Interactive Brokers interface site that interfaces with the stock market, the New York stock market. So to get the Interactive Brokers interface, first of all, you have to have an account registered with Capital 19. Now, on Trade Canary Australia and New Zealand website, we've got all the links there, so you can have a look at that, and I might bring that up as part of it so that you can actually see that. So we'll bring up Trade Canary. Here we go. So here we are. We're Trade Canary. It's trade-canary-australia-nz.com. This video that I've got out there is a explanatory video on how to set up an account between $1,000 and $5,000, just a small account. And the reason why I'm doing that is that's how I started as well. Small account, make certain I've got the knowledge first before I go, jumping in the deep end. So you've got to be able to crawl before you can walk. You've got to be able to walk before you can run. And you've got to learn to swim before you can swim, right? Okay, I was a competitive swimmer as well as many other sporting things, and as well as basically I'm semi-retired now, but I'll never retire because too many things to do, right? Keep active. So regarding Capital 19, you go onto our website, and here's the link here, straight on the front page. We have our in-house accountant for ATO explanations on various legislations, Adam Kern. It just happens to be my son, so he can do a assessment for you online. And he's got his prices there independently. Group training is very important. What I've done, I've put together a group training course, which is quite affordable compared to what all the other. I mean, I paid in excess of 10 grand to get trained over 2 years. My basics course, as we see here, it's $500 up front, or 4 by $150 payments, where I'll teach you all that anyhow. And then you can have a look at the Trade Canary software, etc. So this video that's on the front of, on the head page or leader page of Trade Canary Australia, New Zealand, that gives you a little bit of idea how to set it up, but it's just the leader video. The actual how you set it up is in the behind the scenes, in the educational programming behind this website. And to get all those benefits, you actually have to be a member of the website. And of course, the membership plans are here. As I say, cost effective, $500 upfront, or $150 every 2 weeks for, was it 4 weeks? About $75 a week for 4 weeks for those who are on a budget. And I'm rapidly putting up all these videos in the education part of this website. So, it's basically a beginner's course, as I explained in all these other videos. And it prepares you to be able to get some more insight when you you might be able to afford the Trade Canary interface software now. That's $8,390 Australian. But if you can't do that, you can start off and do some base education. I recommend over about a 12-week period. Take your time, and I've got a group. You can join the group on the website, and then I give you updates every week. And there's a lot of education videos where I've basically condensed the 2 years of learning that I spent and about in excess of 10 grand learning all the different strategies and all this, so that I'll give you the bottom line here, the ones that work. And if you know more than me, great. If you don't know more than me, several people have contacted me already, and they said, look, we've had a look at the stock market, but it's just too complicated for us. And I said, yeah, that's correct. And you're best off getting a basic education before you do anything. So anyway, I don't want to go on about that. We'll just get to the the subject of tonight's video is how to place a trade on interactive brokers. So first of all, I selected FedEx, and there's a reason why I selected FedEx, and I'll go through that, and you will probably get a little bit of an understanding as I show you why. I've got several calls on FedEx, about 3 or 4 of them now, so I'll explain all that in a second. Okay, so when we go to Trade Canary, if you can afford it up front, that's great. Trade Canary has its own training system associated with the team in USA, and weekly updates and all the rest of it. But if you're pretty new to trading, I would suggest you do my beginner's course first, and then as you get confident, then have a look at the Trade Canary. But if you want to get both, you can do my course and you can get Trade Canary if you've got, about 10 grand, I think that is. What do I say here again? The pricing again was for Trade Canary software for subscribing for 18 months is 8,390. That's converted over at today's price, which is, I think, the 7th of July 2025. The exchange rate may change a bit. And add 500 onto that, and you get 8890. So for 8890, you can get my beginner's course plus the Trade Canary software. But if you just want to start off here in this area here and start a little bit of base training over 12 weeks and then migrate up or upgrade yourself, that's the way I would do it, actually. In fact, that's the way I did do it. I got on my education first, and then I got introduced to Trade Canary, and then we consolidated from there. Okay, now we're back on Trade Canary. I won't go through all the details of the software, but we're just on the page where I've put in search FedEx. I'll just do it again so you can see. FedEx Group, I've hit FedEx, bang, it'll come up with this, and I'll just generally go over this, not in detail, but just to see what I'm doing so that when I set these trades up, the number one rule you want to remember when you're going over and searching through Trade Canary is this phrase: is it green on the screen? And if it's green on the screen, that means that the parameters or the executive summary of that company is all go, 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 go. Green is go. So, you got one small red flag there, which basically says price to book is expensive. That doesn't mean much, but everything else is great. It makes money, debt is under control, the revenue increased from last quarter, earnings increased from last quarter, generates free cash flow. That's an important one. It's got money in the bank, got plenty of cash. Insider buying. The company executives are buying their own shares. That's what that means. Price to sales is attractive. So it's price, the actual stock market price to the sales price. There's certain ratios there. I'll explain that later. Price to growth is attractive. So there's a ratio that's used to work out the current price to the growth potential. And then it's got positive income, below average analysis price. So in other words, it's sitting down low where its potential is high. Now, The market cap on this is 57 billion. That is, yeah. How many zeros there? One, two, 57 billion. I don't know whether it's trillion or billion. How many? We've got 3, 6. We've got 9 zeros. Let's have a look here. Okay, I've just shortened down that video because parts 1 and 2 about how to place trades on interactive brokers interface site. It's available on Trade Canary Australia and New Zealand's website if you become a member. That's about, as I've explained earlier on, that's $500 for the beginner's course, or 4 by $150 payments over an 8-week period, which winds up being about $75 a week. A lot cheaper than any of the other courses. I paid about $10,000 for my training courses, but this is just a brief course that can help you get the basics of trading before you go into the advanced version. So parts 1 and 2 is available on the website, Trade Canary Australia and New Zealand, when you become a member and register. Okay, that's Graham Healy over and out. Have a great day.